final approach we're going to talk about is odds ratios. We talked about odds ratios previously with one group where we were looking at the proportion before the intervention and the proportion after the intervention within a single group. Since that data came from one group of people, those proportions were paired or correlated. Here we're talking about proportions from two separate groups of people, so we're talking about uncorrelated proportions. This changes the math a little bit, but the underlying intuition is the same. What we're comparing is the odds that the clients in the intervention group had a desired outcome to the odds that the clients in the comparison group have the desired outcome. And again, 1 is our critical value here. If the odds ratio is 1, that means there's no difference in the likelihood. If the odds ratio is less than 1, that means that our intervention group is decreasing the likelihood of getting a positive outcome or our desired outcome. The odds ratio greater than 1 means that it's increased the odds of that desired outcome. When you look at the confidence interval of the odds ratio, our critical value again is 1, and usually what we're looking for is our confidence interval for our odds ratio to be above 1. So typically we're looking for the odds of a positive outcome increasing with the intervention group. So the intervention increasing the likelihood of getting that positive outcome, we're going to want to see the lower bound of the odds ratio be above 1. So returning to our example with the prosthetics, given these numbers for who abandoned and didn't abandon, we can fill out an odds ratio calculator. And here you need to be consistent and use common sense. We're going to decide, filling out this ratio, that positive means kept using the prosthetic. And here we've got 7 and 16 go in this. And the negative is going to be people who didn't continue using it, so who abandoned it. And here we're putting in the numbers from this column. And when we calculate the odds ratio, we get a 0.41. That means that our odds, that the likelihood of having this positive outcome in the intervention group was 0.41 as big as for the comparison group, which is body powered. That means that it was smaller. Our confidence interval stretches from 0.13 to 1.3. So it includes 1. So we can't exclude the possibility. So we can't be 95% sure there is no difference. But again, this gives us some pretty good evidence that we should at least look and maybe consider changing the way that we're doing myoelectric prosthetics with clients to see if we can get that up.